called Big Cat.
Deion.
Hey, Deion.
You ready for football?
I am.
It's another season, baby.
Pro Football Show.
All right, Deion. Showtime. Football is back.
Welcome to the Pro Football Show presented by the Chevy Silverado. Week in and week out, the Silverado brings it with unstoppable grit and determination. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, everybody. This is coming out on Christmas Eve morning, which is exciting. Deion, Rone, we've got Stephen Cheah here today. It's a Christmas miracle.
That's my man.
This is massive for sure. This is an exciting show. No Dave and no Dan. So there's not going to be any negativity on this show. If Dave and Dan are here, they would be talking about your white tight end that dropped a touchdown pass.
Hey, leave my guy alone.
Exactly.
I love him.
They would do that. We're not going to do that.
No. They would be all in on that. Trust me.
We would spend like 10 minutes off the top of the show breaking down everything. Like Rone said though before the show, this is like kumbaya. This is going to be a nice
good vibes.
Good vibes.
Christmas
it's the holiday.
Spirit.
Yes. Deion, I will tell you that I asked Stephen Cheah before the show if you guys have a good relationship. He said, yeah, I think so. I do text him plays every once in a while, and he said he texted you a play earlier this morning.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
he did, but it's too late now. He should have did it right before the last play of the game.
Just a little bit late, Cheah. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, hey, anything that comes across my desk that I feel like is noteworthy.
Well, what was the play?
I mean, it was from Thursday Night Football, the George Kittle touchdown from Brock Purdy. A very easy middle of the field throw for the quarterback, easy completion, potential big play. So yeah, I mean, anything that comes across my desk.
You're a psycho to be texting a coach that. You're an
Of course,
psycho.
I have eyes everywhere.
Well, he did say that he brought all of his own stats, Deion. So Stephen Cheah has an entire arsenal of stats that he would not share with anybody else on this desk. By the way,
he does. Cheah is a very talented man.
Thank you.
That's very sweet. And Deion, this week is very busy. I know today when we're recording, it's Tuesday. You've got National Signing Day in Colorado this week. By the time this airs, you'll get to breathe a little bit, right?
Yeah, not only that, I'll be jumping for joy because I feel like we're going to do really good in recruiting in our initial year. We got some guys right there. We may need Barstools to just push us over the hump. That's what we need.
I mean, you said
we need a good tweet from Barstools to say, sign with Prime, sign with Prime. That's what we need.
Whatever you need, Coach, we have your back. You really are. You're building a Madden franchise over there. It's just going to be like a dream team is kind of how I'm projecting things. I'm excited to see what you're doing out here, but I'm excited to see what you do on this show, too, because Stephen Cheah might have the stats, but you got the record, Coach, 62%.
Yes. Yep. I'm doing okay. I've been slacking a little bit because a lot of things been on my mind, So I'm just kind of letting these guys in, but I'm going to dominate you guys today. But, I don't no hard feelings, but I got to dominate you guys today.
That's okay. And like we said, we're all going to get along because Dave and Dan aren't here, but Deion will continue to dominate. So just know, Stephen Cheah, you have a lot riding on this. Deion's been controlling this all season.
Well, these are just straight up games. So we've got, other things that factor, but this should be as simple as can be. So
you better make it easy for us to get along with each other, because if you start saying dumb stuff, we're going to have to call you out. So just please don't say anything dumb.
You are given a few you're stupid comments on the show, because Dan in that chair usually tells people that they're stupid, so you are allowed a couple if you would like.
Fair. They'll be coming.
Let's get to the storyline games of the week presented by the Chevy Silverado. Christmas Eve games. They're just going to hit different. You're going to be with your family, your friends, however you're celebrating the holidays. You're going to sit down and watch football. And we are going to start at 1 p.m. with the Bengals and the Patriots. Now, Stephen Cheah, I know that from a stats guy and analyst guy, you're going to look at that last play last week for the Patriots, just like all of us for the rest of time, and be like, is that the worst play in NFL history? How in the world could they have made that mistake? We know the Bengals are rolling. They beat your Buccaneers, came back from 17 points down. But just before we get to this game, that play that the Patriots ran against the Raiders, is it the dumbest thing that's ever happened?
I mean, our old friend Pat McAfee might have something to say about that. Dan Orlovsky, another guy with a pretty tough play in his past. But yeah, especially when you are a coach that prides yourself on the details. Mm-hmm. If you are running the ball with an expiring clock, you are banking on a face mask or some type of defensive penalty to extend the game. For you to not have your team prepared enough to know that it is a tie game and they can lose the game with a turnover is unacceptable. I think Bill Belichick has lost his fastball, and Tom Brady has been gone for a couple seasons now. But Bill Belichick without Tom Brady, and it's difficult to say, because they overlap for such a heavy period of time. But without Tom Brady, is 78 and 86.
Here come the stats.
Yep. Love the
Now,
stats. Here he goes.
The guy that is the continual
stat man.
the continual punching bag for every coach joke, Jeff Fisher, is 173 and 165. That's 51% win percentage. Bill Belichick without Tom Brady, 47.5. I mean, when are we going to get over his clock management the past couple weeks has been terrible. When are we just going to get over? Are we going to blame the roster? Who's the GM? Oh, it's Bill Belichick. Is he the problem in New England? Let me just throw that out there.
But he's not throwing the ball, though. Mac Jones
He has to have his guys prepared. If you do not have your guys, this is a guy who pop quizzes guys midweek on what college the other team's kick returner went to. How are you not telling your guys, he can call in, certainly a knee, play for overtime, nobody would blame him. They said that they asked him after the game, why didn't you throw the ball? He said because he couldn't throw that far.
Cheah, let me tell you something, man. Pick the darn team. So you're picking the Bengals, right?
Yeah, I'm picking the Bengals. Yes.
Okay. I don't think Bill Belichick has nothing to do with a quarterback that went 13 for 31.
Exactly.
That's not who he is. All you have to do, if there's indecision in picking these games, think about the quarterbacks, and then that'll give you the decision to make. I'm going with the Bengals because it's a better quarterback, better situation. Quarterbacks win games. That's why they make the big bucks. You could just go through this list right now, and I could just pick the best quarterback and probably come out win. And you know what? I'm going to do that this week. I'm just going to go through this list and pick the best third quarter. I'm going with the Bengals on this game.
I like that. That's a good strategy. Deion, as a coach, when you saw that play, probably after the fact, were you just rolling your eyes like, how the hell could they have let that happen?
Right. You just shake your head and say, oh my God. Yeah, you just shake your head and say, oh my God, we're better than that. You start thinking, we're better than that. But trust me, at being a coach, you just pray to the guys that's supposed to show up and do their jobs, they show up and do their jobs, but that's not always the case.
Rone, Mac Jones getting shoved into the ground. And meanwhile, as Deion's saying, Joe Burrow and the Bengals, they've now won 6 in a row. They're just absolutely rolling. You talk about a tale of two different teams. Mac Jones and Joe Burrow in and of itself is two different stories right now.
Yeah, I'm not going to filibuster like Stephen Cheah. I do think that the Patriots, they've won 7 games, so it's not like Bill Belichick has completely lost his fastball, especially with Mac Jones as quarterback being relatively inept. But that being said, it's obviously the Bengals are playing great right now.
Let's get to the Commanders and the 49ers. Deion, as somebody who has lined up on many lines of scrimmage in your career, when you look back at what happened with the Commanders and the Giants and Terry McLaurin getting the illegal formation penalty after he had checked with the refs, and you see it sitting at home, you see it across the country, everybody's talking about it. What were your thoughts on how that went down?
You feel bad. You just feel bad because you like the integrity of our game. You like the game to be called right. You like things to happen like it's supposed to happen, and sometimes it just doesn't go like that. Not a good look. Not a good look at all. This game here, I'm going to pick the San Francisco 49ers. They got it rolling, man. They're playing good. They look great. The defense is doing their job. It's going to be hard to beat this team down the stretch.
And Ron, Brock Purdy is dealing with a little bit of a bleak injury, but he hasn't had to come out of the game. He's had an unbelievable few games when he has been playing. But we've mentioned on this show a million times, just like everybody else, the 49ers have so much on both sides of the ball around Brock Purdy. He didn't have to do too much.
Yeah,
That's
and
right.
if we're going by Deion's rubric of who is the best quarterback, it really even might be Brock Purdy. And that's no slight to Taylor Heineke. He's been tough. He's been able to win games, but he's not going to be that quarterback that takes you to the next level. The system in San Francisco is fantastic. They should be pretty excited about the Eagles having an injury because that number 1 seed isn't 100% sewn up. The 49ers could have their eye on it.
Cheah?
I actually like the Commanders coming off just that brutal loss. They're 4-2-1 on the road, so they're a much better team on the road. Their game travels. I think their pass rush can get home and rattle a young, inexperienced quarterback in Brock Purdy. I'm taking the Commanders.
A massive Christmas Eve game in the NFC East. We have the Cowboys and the Eagles in Dallas, Rone. Right now, when we're recording this, we do not know for sure if Jalen Hurts is going to play or not, if it's going to be Gardner Minshew. We will see later this week. But We talked about it before the show. You're an Eagles guy. When this game means something in the holiday season, it just hits a little bit different. So much on the line for both of these teams.
There's a ton on the line, and this is the worst case scenario for the Eagles. And I don't know what they're doing running Jalen Hurts so much when he is such a valuable part of their offense. And you have a running back like Miles Sanders who can take care of business. They shouldn't have put him in a position to be hurt. That being said, after his injury, he was still throwing beautiful deep balls. He is going to be all right. And even if Gardner Minshew plays, I think that the Eagles can win this game. I think that the Cowboys have an incredible pass rush. Micah Parsons, Dorrance Armstrong, DeMarcus Lawrence, Dexter Fowler. Those are a lot of guys that can get to the quarterback. So the key to me is Gardner Minshew getting that ball out quickly. Dallas Goedert's coming back. It'll help with the screen game. I think that's the key to the Eagles winning this game, but I have them winning.
Deion, I know you love Dak Prescott for great reason, but you're going off of who the best quarterback is in this game. So let's say Jalen Hurts does play. That's a lot different than if Gardner Minshew's playing in this game. So who are you taking?
That does. But the fact that he's injured and there's speculation that he won't play or he may not play, that means that he's not 100%. Dak Prescott is 100%. The Cowboys has been setting America up for the big takedown, okay? They've been playing like garbage. The defense is supposed to be all world. What they give up, 30-some points last week, and which was crazy. That's not indicative of who they are, but this is the stage that they wanted. This is all Dallas. This is how they do things. I got everybody's attention in the country. Now watch they go out there and do their thing. Dak is going to play magnificent. The defense is going to soar, and the Eagles are going to fall. But this just builds the next matchup up in the playoffs, and I like that. I'm going with the Cowboys at the crib.
No, I could see them seeing each other again in the playoffs, both at full strength. Because if you remember the first Eagles game against the Cowboys, they beat a backup quarterback. So we might be seeing another backup quarterback, which is just angling for finally a Jalen Hurts full-strength matchup against Dak Prescott eventually down the line in the playoffs.
Cheah?
Yeah, because it looks like we're not going to get it this week. Like you said, Gardner Minshew has started 2 games for the Eagles. He has not been bad. He's a game manager quarterback. He gets the ball out on time. He's accurate. About 65% completions, only 1 interception, so we like that. What worries me, and I'm a big Cowboys supporter like Deion, I think that they are the most balanced team in the NFC. But what worries me?
How?
What worries me is Dak Prescott in his last 4 games, 7 interceptions, and the Eagles lead the league in interceptions. So if he turns the ball over, I think they're going to lose. I think this game is all on Dak. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I'm going to take the Eagles to manage the game. I do think if these teams meet full strength, I like the Cowboys. This week, I like the Eagles.
Wait, you like the Cowboys if Gardner Minshew? You like the Eagles better when Gardner Minshew's playing than Jalen Hurts?
Not necessarily. I think that's the way things are going right now. I think Dallas is not at their peak. Dallas is not peaking in mid-December. They're going to be peaking later.
Full strength.
Yep.
You just said you like the Cowboys in their full strength. The Eagles are not full strength.
Yep.
You're
So
really
why
tested.
would you pick the Eagles?
I just think that Dak Prescott is going through some stuff right now. 7 picks in 4 games is not how you can play in January. We are not in January yet.
So you're saying the Eagles are full strength, but the Cowboys aren't?
Yes.
Right. Dak is not a guy that throws a lot of picks. You got to realize sooner or later he's going to get it together. His career is not indicative of him throwing a lot of interceptions. That's not who he is. So sooner or later he's going to clean that up. And this is going to be the game that he cleans that up.
I'm a believer in Dak. I'm not a believer in Dak this game.
Okay, that's good said. Well said.
No, Rone, watching you try to process what just happened was something.
Because I'm trying hard not to call people dumb. I want to have the Christmas spirit. I want to be positive. I want to be positive.
It is Christmas Eve, so you're trying not to do what other people on the show would do and say that it's stupid,
Yes,
but you are feeling that it might be a little bit.
It just didn't make sense when it came out of his mouth. I know the commenters will agree.
Let's get to hashtag I believe. Deion, speaking of the Cowboys, you've been talking a lot about how you believe that Dak will lead the Cowboys to the NFC Championship. Huge game on Saturday, Christmas Eve with the Eagles. Are you still riding with that take?
I am still riding with Dak because it's all a setup to me. He has everyone's attention. Everyone is focused on this game, Thanksgiving Day. This is going to be incredible. And he's going to do what he does, and Dak is a winner.
All right.
The kid is a winner.
Yes.
And he's going to bring them back, and he's going to go to the NFC Championship. I'm waiting for that. NFC Championship. That's what I'm waiting for.
Rone?
I I believe that the Miami Dolphins are done.
Okay.
I believe that the Miami Dolphins had a good run, but now it's getting a little bit colder outside. Everything's coming down to earth a little bit. I think that the Miami Dolphins had a fantastic run, and we all wanted them to be good. We wanted to see Tyreek Hill, Tua, Jalen Waddle. That's a fun trio to watch, but I think that the Miami Dolphins need to retool for next year. I don't necessarily think that they have a legitimate shot this year anymore. 8-6, they're done.
You talk about Florida teams that looked cold. Tua on the sideline in Buffalo last week when it was starting to snow, he looked miserable. He looked like he was the most miserable person on the planet. Can't blame him, but still, it's like, it is tough once it gets a little bit colder. By the way, I'm going to throw Brandon Walker under the bus a little bit. He's not here to defend himself, but I was just looking. His, I believe, last week was the Eagles are set up for massive heartbreak. And I wondered if you had any thoughts on that.
Well, I mean, there was heartbreak when Jalen Hurts got hurt, but it's not like he was predicting that. He was just trying to, get in my craw a little bit and say negative things about the Eagles. I don't think that he had any basis in fact on that. He was just trying to sell stock while it was high. And that doesn't prove that he knows anything about football. The Eagles, even in a down week last week, took care of business. So, no, I don't think Brandon Walker's smart. No, I don't respect his opinions about football. No, I don't care about Brandon Walker.
Yeah, he's not here to have the kumbaya spirit, so you can throw him under the bus.
Exactly.
Brandon Walker is a dummy, but I actually agree with him on this take. So the way the Eagles started off the year and the way they've been playing this year, it is Super Bowl or bust, correct? As an Eagles fan?
Yeah.
Yes. So do you think they're going to win the Super Bowl? I do not think they're going to win the Super Bowl, in which case it would be a massive disappointment based on how they've started and how they've plowed through the competition this season.
But you are trying to, you have negative things to say about the Eagles regardless. You're trying to have hot takes about the Eagles
picked the
and
Eagles
be
to
a
win this week.
contrarian. But you don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl.
Correct.
But you have convoluted backwards opinions, and you think that the Eagles are at full strength right now and the Cowboys aren't.
No, sorry. That was misspoke. The Eagles are not at full strength. The Cowboys are.
All right, fair enough.
By the way, Rone, I noticed that when you started talking that way, you got in a little bit of your battle rap movement. Like,
when he start using the hands, it's a shake. When he start using the hands, run.
Yeah, it's over. When Rone gets into that headspace, it is over.
Yeah, you got to go because he's good. I've seen him. He's good.
He's very good. Cheah, what's your I believe this week?
Everyone is talking about the Bills and the Chiefs, who's going to get the number 1 seed in the AFC. The team that we are not talking about is the Cincinnati Bengals, who have already beaten the Chiefs this year. Not this week, but next week on Monday night, they are hosting the Buffalo Bills. I think they take care of business this week against New England. I think they beat Buffalo next week, and they take ownership of the number 1 seed. They'll beat Baltimore to finish the year. I think Cincinnati is going to be the number 1 seed in the AFC and be the hottest team in the NFL going to the playoffs.
I love that. And early in the season, when they lost a couple games and they were struggling, the offensive line could not keep Joe Burrow off his ass. Everyone was like, oh my God, was last year just a one-off thing? They're proving it again late in the season.
Yeah, Ted Karras, Alex Cappa, Lyle Collins, the whole right side of that offensive line is doing a much better job. They also have some very good linebackers that are getting the job done. Defense is tightened up. I like them to make a healthy run in January.
I'm going to do a bonus I believe, Deion, and I know Dan has done this a couple times where he says I believe when it's already happened. I believe that you're going to have one of the best signing days we've ever seen.
I believe that too.
That's what we believe here.
I believe that too. Thank you, dear. I believe that.
Of course. And by the time this airs, I'm going to be proven right. So I can't even be proven wrong there. So that's good. Coach Prime in Colorado, great National Signing Day. Let's bring in Jersey Jerry for the game time game of the week.
That's my guy.
I didn't know if Jerry was sleeping. I didn't see him immediately turn around. I was like, oh no,
He
is
took a
Jerry?
nap?
Jerry, well, he has taken a nap before, but it's okay. Jerry, you have new facial hair. What happened here?
Oh, I don't have an earpiece.
Oh, you don't have an earpiece, so you can't hear Deion?
No.
We need to get you an earpiece, Jerry, or I'll tell you what he says.
Yeah,
tell me what he
we'll have
says.
Rone. So this is the Game Time Game of the Week. Score last-minute tickets to this week's Game Time Game of the Week. Any sport, concert, show with the Game Time app. Download the app, create an account, redeem code football for $20 off your first order. So you shaved into a goatee, huh?
Yeah, Dan wanted to look the same on advisors, so shaved it this morning.
You
guys
look like
are-
a third baseman.
Yeah?
I think so.
What is Deion saying?
Coach, you like his goatee?
No, I don't.
He said no.
Bad?
He started a little bit and he said no, he doesn't.
He
my
stuttered
God.
a little bit. He was going to give you a compliment, and he just said no.
Whatever.
Deion, what do you think about the fact that he was doing it just to match Dan? Do you think that's...
I really don't like that because I don't think Dan is really for Jerry. I think every time Jerry comes, Dan take a shot at him.
He thinks that Dan's not really for you.
He says you take shots at him. And honestly, Jerry, you got to trust your own fashion sense, because remember when at Rough and Rowdy, when Dan had his little outfit on and you were like, no, you got to change that.
Exactly.
And you went out and shopped for him.
Exactly.
He should be copying your facial hair instead of the other way around.
That's a great point, Rone.
I think that they're going to bring you an earpiece, maybe.
This
so
is
that
your
you can hear?
segment, Jerry.
Yeah, this is your segment.
I don't need
Yeah,
an
do your
earpiece.
thing,
I kind of, 1 week without Deion talking to me, I think is not that bad.
You don't want an earpiece?
He's being nice to you. Deion's being
there it
nice
is.
to you. He's being positive.
He started off a little negative, though. Deion,
Well-
I want to wish you luck, though, for real, with the signing day. I do.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you, Jerry. Can
Any-
you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you now. Any, you guys in the market for a quarterback or not yet?
I think we got a pretty good one.
I'm just curious, that's all.
It's a fair question.
Why, are you going to play quarterback? It seems like you're fishing for
I
a...
don't know. I can run the option. I've done it before.
Deion,
Jerry, I'm really trying to hook you up to run out, I'm trying. But I don't know if you, Jerry. I got to see you run first because
Give a quick run. Just give a quick run.
I'm all right.
show him some
Just
quick
even run in
moves.
place.
No, Jerry.
No?
No.
I thought that was nice.
not that bad.
What,
I
your
don't want
burst
him
wasn't
drug
good?
across the field, running out there. Jerry. I don't know if Jerry's gonna be. Jerry, you got to train for that. Those guys could run, man.
Oh, I could run
He
with
can
the
keep
best
up.
of
He
them.
can run. He can run.
I could run. Give me 30 days to train. I'll stop
No,
smoking.
but Rone, I don't think you understand what Jerry. Tell him what you want to do. Tell him what you asked me. Could you do?
I want to run out with the Ralphie.
With the Buffalo?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that you could do it, but I think you might need to train
But,
like the Rough and
That's
Rowdy.
what I'm saying. He has to train. I don't want the thing dragging Jerry, and now we
That
wow.
would be a tough look.
And you know
Bouncing.
that Jerry wouldn't let go either. Like,
No.
he would not let go. He'd be dragged across the field.
No.
Right.
No,
It was.
that visual would be crazy.
It would
Train
be
like Rocky. You'll
hilarious.
chase chickens around. You'll
Yeah.
do some old school training.
Oh yeah.
So you've got the Giants and the Vikings this week.
Yes, huge game. Huge game. The Giants won last week, but they didn't really look that great. Daniel Jones didn't look the best. I'm going to go with the Vikings. I think this game, I know the Vikings had a crazy comeback, barely beat the Colts. Colts haven't been playing that well. I think the Vikings are going to bury them. I think it's going to be a bloodbath. I'm taking the Vikings this week. I see Kirk Cousins throwing for a bunch of yards, Justin Jefferson destroying that secondary, Dalvin Cook too much. Giants, they're not doing anything this year.
You have any of the signs for this one? Or are you working on that? Or
I might do something recording later, but I think this is all the Vikings all the way. They're begging you to take the Giants, but I'm not doing it. I'm taking the Vikings -3.5.
Thank you, Jerry.
So what, Jerry? What does -3.5 mean?
So the Vikings would have to win by 4 points or more to cover that.
Got you.
Yeah,
They're spotted 4 points, basically.
pretty much.
Yeah. I think that'll happen.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I think that'll happen.
Well, see, you guys are getting along.
Yeah,
you
it's
see
great.
that?
Yeah, look at that.
Deion,
great.
you just need Jerry to train so that he doesn't,
Yeah.
embarrass you
Yeah,
with Ralphie. And
because first of
good.
all, he's got to wear the jeans and he got to wear the little black button-down shirt and the boots and the cowboy belt.
I got
that's
no
gonna
problem wearing
restrict
cowboy
him.
boots.
That's going to restrict you already, Jerry. That may take another 10th off your 40 time. And I don't want you drugged. I don't want you drugged by Ralphie, man. So you got to train.
He's drug
Jerry.
free. He can't be.
Yeah,
drugged.
listen,
He
I'm
can't
drug
get
free,
drugged.
so we're good there.
You got like 9 months to get ready for it.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll start.
But
in
in
8
boots,
months.
running in boots is tough though. You got to train in cowboy
It's good.
boots.
I never
Jerry.
worn cowboy boots before.
This guy's blue collar. He's wearing boots.
Not
I know,
cowboy
Jerry.
boots, though.
This could happen. It could
I'm
happen.
excited. I want
make it
that.
I love it.
Let's make it happen, Deion.
Let's make it happen. The Barstool College Football Show will be there early September, so maybe
Love
we're
it.
bringing Jerry with it as well. So, Deion, you
Love
agree
it.
with him. You think that the Vikings do win this game?
Yeah, I do. I don't think it's going to be close.
Rone?
I'm on the other side. I think that sometimes when you get through such an emotional game, look at the Stephon Diggs touchdown that the Vikings had against the Saints. The next game after that, that's such an emotional high that sometimes that comes with a little bit of a lull. And I think that this could be a little bit of a lull game for the Vikings. I'm going to take the Giants.
Cheah?
I also like the Giants for the reason that Minnesota is a team that is very talented but also makes a lot of mistakes, and they can overcome that mistakes with their talent. The Giants are a team that don't have a lot of talent but do not make mistakes. So I think that the Giants are going to be able to capitalize on the Vikings' mistakes. I love the Giants in this match.
Switch me to the Vikings. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Vikings on that one. I didn't like his reasoning.
You didn't like his reasoning, so you're going against him.
Good job, Rone. You're
I'm with
smart.
you. Yep, I'm with the Vikings now.
So, Deion, Rone, and Jerry on one side, Cheah on the other, on an
I
island
like
by
that
himself.
stuff. I like that side with my
right.
guys.
I'm happy about myself.
It's time now for the rapid fire games of the week presented by Cross Country Mortgage. Players watch game film to prepare. Finding your dream home is no different, and Cross Country Mortgage is the partner that's prepped to put you in position to win. Reach out to us today at ccm.com/Barstool. That's ccm.com/Barstool. ccm.com/Barstool. Equal housing opportunity in MLS 3029. All loans subject to underwriting approval. In MLSConsumerAccess.org. Deion, the Atlanta Falcons at the Baltimore Ravens. So
Did it to me again.
yeah,
They
I
did it to
know
me
it.
again.
They keep doing it to you, and the Ravens have been struggling offensively without Lamar. We know he's in a contract year, so that's probably helping him a lot. The realistic return would be for this game. Again, we don't know when we're recording this, but the Ravens desperately need your guy back.
They did it to me again, so guess what? I would never pick them again. I'm going with the Ravens. Never. I would never do it again.
I will make sure to remind you of this every single time. You said never, never again. Rone?
The Falcons with Desmond Ridder aren't really that inspiring. I think that he has potential, but he has a long way to go. So even if the Ravens are a little bit depleted, I think that they'll win. But I need to see more from Mark Andrews from the Ravens.
Cheah?
Yeah, the Falcons have given up on this season putting in Desmond Ridder. He couldn't even throw for 100 yards last week. Give me the Ravens.
The Lions at the Panthers. Rone, the Lions have won 6 out of the last 7. The Panthers have had a crazier lose to the Steelers last week, but these Lions are a good football team.
I was in Chicago this past weekend, and Chicago was overrun with Lions fans. Lions fans run the city of Chicago. They're hyped up because they're playing meaningful football in December for the first time in a long time. I think that the Lions are going to take care of business. They're frisky. No one wants to play them. They're kind of a fun, exciting team to watch.
They are. Cheah?
These are two defenses that are actually playing really well. Both are giving up under 20 points a game, but the thing that the Panthers are doing is they're running the ball a lot better. And you know who the number 1 team against the run in the last 3 weeks has been? The Detroit Lions. Under 60 yards a game. So I like the Lions to continue to roll against Carolina.
Deion?
Shay, that was really good.
It was very
I
good.
mean, that was a great presentation.
Thank you.
And that's the reason I'm going with the Carolina Panthers.
Just going to go the opposite of that wonderful presentation.
Yep.
All right, Cheah, the Bills and the Bears. The Bills officially eliminated from playoff contention, and we saw Josh Allen go into literally full Superman mode in the snow. This seems pretty easy.
Yeah, I mean, these are two really exciting quarterbacks. So I think this is going to be a pretty fun game. But yeah, I mean, the Bills are better on each side of the ball. I'm going to take
Say that again. Say that again.
The Bills are better on each side of the ball.
No. Kayce didn't say the Bills were eliminated.
The Bears are eliminated.
The Bears were eliminated.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry.
Yep.
I just want to make sure. I got to take care of my girl now.
Yes, the Bears are eliminated, and the Bills, like Josh Allen seems to just get better no matter what. Like when it's snowing and blizzarding, he's just better. And that Superman move, it's just the Bills are just so good.
I'm with the Bills, guys.
Rone?
Yeah, this is easy. It's the Bills. Justin Fields, the Bears, they'll grow as a team for sure. And Justin Fields is tough to play against. He's scary, but the Bills are a juggernaut.
Deion, the Saints at the Browns. Now, we've seen Deshaun Watson for a few weeks now. He's still a little bit rusty, but he's getting a better. It looks like they're setting it up more for next season. And the Saints, beat your Falcons last week, but, both of these teams not playing great. Who are you taking?
I'm going to take the Browns only because they're at home, and the dome team going to Cleveland is going to be a little cold. I never pick dome teams when it's cold.
Rone?
I don't think the Saints are that good. They had a kind of not a fluky win, but a lucky win last week. And I think that the Browns have nice skill position players. Donovan Peoples-Jones, Amari Cooper. That's a threatening offense. I think they have something to build on there in Cleveland.
Cheah?
I've never seen a point total this low. It's 32 for this game. This should be an all-time stinker. I do like the Browns, though, to prevail.
Yeah, it's a gross game. Very
32
gross.
points.
It's very gross. Rone, the Seahawks at the Chiefs.
The Chiefs are playing great right now, and the Seahawks are on the schneid. I think that the Seahawks are a little bit disappointing as of late, so I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
Cheah?
I actually think the Chiefs are ripe for an upset. They almost lost to the Texans. The Seahawks got whooped on Thursday Night Football, but they had some extra time to prepare. I think they're a team that can limit their mistakes against a Chiefs team that is prone to make them. So I like Seattle to pull the upset.
Deion?
Wow. Once again, thank you for that. We're going with the Chiefs. and I'm sticking with my guy Rone.
Yeah, and when you talk about picking
Smart.
games because of the better quarterback, clearly Patrick Mahomes. I know you like Geno Smith, but I mean, clearly
I love Geno.
Patrick Mahomes is the best
But the
quarterback.
two highest
Yes,
win
most
percentages,
definitely.
we're thinking
Yes.
alike. We're on the same page. I like it.
Very fair. All right, Cheah, the Texans at the Titans.
So they played a couple of weeks ago, and this game was pretty close, but that was with Malik Willis at quarterback. The Titans are sliding right now, but I still like them to rebound against the worst team in the league. I'm going with the Titans.
Rone?
I think that the Texans are sneakily good. They've been having these close, kind of good games the last 2 weeks. But I think that the Titans are realizing that if they don't win these next couple games, they're going to be on the outside looking in for the playoffs. And they already fired their GM. More heads could roll if they don't get into the playoffs right here. So it's desperation time. The Titans win.
Deion?
Titans win, but Texans, they're the best sparring partner in the NFL. They're going to give you a great look, but they're locked in on that first pick. I'm going with the Titans.
It is weird. They're locked in on that first pick, but then they keep making it interesting. They kept it close with the
Right.
Cowboys, kept it close with the Chiefs, and it's like, the players are never going to want to throw anything. They're not going to tank because they don't want to lose their contracts. But you got to think the front office is probably like, what are we doing? Why are we staying in these close games?
But it's great. It's all you want to see out of a team. They've shown that they can stick with pretty good teams over the last couple weeks, but they're still losing. It's almost perfect for the Texans.
true.
We're at Christmas right now. They've won 1 game. They've only lost 5 games by double digits. So they're always hanging around.
Yeah, Deion put it best. They're the best sparring partner in the NFL. All right, Deion, the Raiders at the Steelers.
I don't even know who the Raiders are. I mean, they could play great one week, next week they just lay an egg. The Steelers at the crib, and you talk about someone coming from Las Vegas to go to Pittsburgh to play. That inclement weather. I know when I played the game, I did not want to go play in that cold. Darn it, I don't even want to coach in the cold. I was so happy. I signed here because we had an indoor facility. That's why I took the job, if anybody wants to know.
About to say, you're in Colorado. It's very cold, but as long as you've got the indoor.
Beautiful indoor facility.
Beautiful. The nice domed facility.
Beautiful.
It's absolutely lovely over there. I'm with him. I think that it's the Steelers. Both of these teams have kind of shown you a little bit over the last month or so, but not enough to even really write home about. So it's the Steelers in kind of a not that exciting game.
Cheah?
This is the 50th anniversary of the Immaculate Reception.
Wow.
And I like the Raiders to extract a little bit of revenge in Pittsburgh this time, going to Las Vegas.
Revenge for what?
The Immaculate Reception.
So a 50-year-old revenge?
Yes.
None of these people were alive, Stephen.
Of course.
Mike Tomlin probably wasn't even alive then.
It was a way to phrase my pick.
Yeah, that's his brain works differently than ours.
Yes.
It's revenge from 50 years ago.
You might as well get Revolutionary War revenge next time U.S. plays England in soccer or something. It just doesn't make any sense.
That will absolutely happen from Cheah next time it happens. All right, the Packers at the Dolphins, Rone. You mentioned in your I Believe that you think the cheese is falling off the cracker, as Brandon Walker would say, for the Miami Dolphins.
And I think that the cheese might take this game. The cheese heads from Green Bay. I think that they kind of showed that their offense is rounding out a little bit. They have some weapons. Randall Cobb in the slot has kind of been a nice threat for them. I think that the Packers will go in and win this game in Miami, and I think that they still have a chance to make the playoffs too. They're still a little bit frisky.
Deion, we've talked all season. You can't ever truly count out Aaron Rodgers and this team, and they seem like they've got things right.
Yeah, but they don't.
Oh, there you go.
I know Rone you guys just put a hole in the Miami Dolphins a few segments ago, but I still like them. I never like them in the cold. I told you guys that last week. I would never pick a team from Florida in the cold, and they played really not good. They didn't play well. They fought though. I'm going to go with the Dolphins because I don't think the Green Bay Packers are back. I really don't, and I think the Dolphins are going to finish strong.
Cheah?
Aaron Rodgers has had historically a pretty tough time playing in Florida. It's going to be December, so I expect it to be more regular climate. But I still like the Dolphins to bounce back after a tough loss against Buffalo last week.
Okay, so a Christmas Day game that absolutely stinks. We have the Broncos and the
God.
and the Rams, Deion, on Christmas
Who
Day.
did that?
How dare
Who
them?
picked that game? Can you flex out of that?
I know, 4:30 on Christmas Day. Nobody deserves this. The Broncos and
Oh,
the
my
Rams
God.
both out. I don't know who
Wow.
deserves this. Nobody.
You know what I'm thinking about while you were talking, Kayce? I was thinking about what I said earlier about the best quarterback in this game. Like who? Like which one of these guys? Which one of these backups are the best?
It's hard to answer. I don't think there is a true
Wow.
one-sided answer.
Okay, you know what? But the Broncos got a really good defense. Shoot, this is a tough one. Wow. I'm going to go with the Broncos on the road because the Rams, Broncos defense versus Baker Mayfield, I like that matchup.
Rone? I feel like this is one of those games where you should just open presents. If you're a present family, this is when you should probably
Take a
be
nap,
doing it.
eat turkey, whatever you can do. Watch the Harry Potter movies. Anything that you can do to avoid watching this football game, then you know what? I refuse to pick this game. I'm not going to pick this game. I'm stepping away from this game, completely abstaining. These two teams have been such a disappointment this year. They've sucked so badly this year when they were both supposed to be playoff teams. I'm not going to stand for that. I'm not going to be subject to that. I'm not picking this game.
You're taking a stand on Christmas. You
Yes.
are honoring Christmas without taking these teams. All right, Stephen Cheah?
The loser of this game is both of these fan bases because Denver's draft pick next year, which right now is number 3 overall, goes to Seattle in the Russell Wilson trade. The Rams first-round pick next year, which came in the Matthew Stafford deal, goes to Detroit. That's going to be the number 4 overall pick right now. So even the team that loses this game doesn't get to reap the benefits of a better first-round pick. This game stinks. I'll take the Broncos because they have a better defense, but awful. I feel terrible for the fan bases.
Terrible for just NFL fans in general.
They have to watch this as a standalone game.
Yeah,
yes.
just enjoying their Christmas day and have to watch this disgusting game. Sunday Night Football, Stephen Cheah, your Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Cardinals, a Christmas night game. So I'm just going to, there's so many different questions that I could ask you about this team. So I'm just going to just lob it up to you and see where you want to go.
This team has sole possession of first place in their division.
Gross.
On Christmas Day. They control their own destiny, and they're going to be favored in every single game of the regular season moving forward. They're at Arizona on Christmas Day. They're home against Carolina, and they're at Atlanta. This team is going to the playoffs. Can they get right in the next 3 weeks so they can be peaking in playoff time? They need to get a lot of guys back from injury. They're going to win this game, though.
Yeah, Deion, we've talked a lot about Tom Brady this season as well, and how you can't count him out. You know, he had 4 turnovers last week, but even though the NFC South is terrible, but you don't want to see Tom Brady in the playoffs if you're an opposing team.
You're exactly right. And Tom is going to get it together. They're going to win this game, and I think they're going to win out.
Love that, Rone.
I was just pissed at the smile that Stephen Cheah had on his face when he said that the Bucs are going to make the playoffs because they do not deserve to make the playoffs. They haven't been playing well. They've been embarrassing themselves and blowing big leads. I do think that they're going to win just because Tom Brady thrives in retirement climates. That's what Arizona is. But I wouldn't be that excited about the Bucs if I were Stephen Cheah. So yeah, the Bucs are the pick. But
I mean, if they're leading the division, even if the division is absolute shit, you can still be excited, right?
he could be excited, but this is a once proud franchise that's won Super Bowls, and you're excited about 6 and 8?
I mean, you can't ever.
I'm not going to be shamed about loving a winning a team that's in.
They're not a winning team.
A team
They're
that is
6 and 8.
winning their division. Inarguable.
Also, it's Tom Brady. We're not going to take any Tom Brady slander here on this show, ever.
Correct.
Monday Night Football, Deion, the Chargers at the Colts. The Colts had that just absolute epic collapse last week against the Vikings. The Chargers beat the Titans, and Justin Herbert is having a hell of a season. I feel like when we talk about the MVP, you know, he's not in that conversation quite yet, but he's quietly having a fantastic season.
He's doing what we expected him to do. I love him as a quarterback. I love his size, his height, everything that he brings to the table, his pocket presence, awareness, and he's a leader. I feel like he's a leader. I like them over the Colts by far. This game is, let me see, I don't know what is -4 mean? That means they have to win by 5?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's going to happen.
Rone?
They're going to win by 5. They're going to take care of business. The Colts are embarrassing. They've made bad decisions. I think it's the Chargers.
Giving up a 33-0 lead, I mean, I feel like you're never going to, I mean, 28-3 was bad enough for Matt Ryan. That just add it, they're down bad.
Now, who's talking about 28-3? Who remembers that? It's 33-0. That's what we're going to remember Matt Ryan for. Great job with the spin zone, Matt Ryan. But yeah, I think if the Chargers want to actually be taken seriously, they have to win this game. They're 8-6. They're in 6th place in the AFC right now. They need to win this game to really get some momentum going into the playoffs. I like the Chargers to beat a hapless Colts team.
And it's great because it's Monday Night Football. It's standalone. It's primetime. Justin Herbert, if he can get it done,
Justin Herbert's been very good in primetime.
Yes, very, very good. It's time for the primetime pick of the week presented by the Chevy Silverado. So you guys are both picking for guys who are not here. Team Dave, who I don't know if he's ever coming back to this show, probably not. But Team Dan, but I will let Deion go. He is the winner of this as usual.
Yep.
So you are 3-0 in December. You can't take Dallas, Kansas City, or San Francisco. Who are you taking?
I'm going to take Buffalo because I want to go 4-0. I'm going to take Buffalo at the crib. I know what they're going to do. Good team, great quarterback. Love what they're about.
Rone?
I'm taking Buffalo as well. Is that cowardly? I already had it in my head and wrote it down as Buffalo, but I want to win too. So that's the easiest win. Buffalo, for a guy that's with the Buffaloes, I think he knows what he's talking about.
He does know what he's
Amen.
talking about. There you go, Ralphie. All I can think about now is Jerry running out with Ralphie.
Cowboy boots, high step in,
Yeah.
tight ankles.
No, he's going to get drugged for at least 40 yards.
He won't let go. He will never, ever, ever let go.
No, he won't let go.
It'll
He won't
be
let go.
hilarious. All right, Cheah, you are picking for Dan, who's already lost, but you still have to make a pick.
It's going to be the Bucs this week, and they're not a sexy team right now. But they're playing Arizona, who's going to be quarterbacked by Colt McCoy, Trace McSorley. Like, what are we doing here? Tom Brady versus one of those guys. Give me Tom Brady.
I love the Tom Brady love. I do.
I know. I could tell how it's making
It
you
makes me so
warm
happy.
and happy for the holiday season.
Of course. I mean, it's Tom Brady. He's
I
a
can't wait till
dreamboat.
he goes back to the Patriots this offseason and tries to right that ship, because then you can be happy and he'll be sad, and that's good with me.
Never forget that I had.
Cameron.
Yeah.
Cameraman, I need to see my girl. Can you focus in on Kayce? Let me focus in on her. Give me a close-up. Give me a close-up.
I'm gonna start blushing.
I need a close-up. I need a close-up. Give me a close-up.
I don't know if they can hear you back there.
No.
There it is.
Kayce, let me tell you something, baby.
Oh.
I know what you're dealing with. I know what you're working with. You are a beautiful pregnant woman.
Oh my God, I'm gonna
You
start
keep
crying.
on going, girl. No, you are. I want you to know, and I'm
Do it.
praying for that boy. I wish Deion was in the name somewhere, middle name is somewhere, but I'm praying for you, and I got you, baby. So tell him Uncle Prime. Time he comes out, let him know Uncle Prime got it.
I'm so
And you
emotional.
are beautiful as ever. You go, girl, and you are a commitment to excellence, and I love you.
I love you too. Thank you. I'm like actually.
Merry Christmas,
Merry,
sweetheart.
Merry Christmas to you. I love you. Thank you. I mean, you've got me crying on the show. This is the first time anybody's got me crying. My hormones are everywhere. So thank you very much. It means a lot.
You know how much I love you, girl.
Yeah. Thank you so much, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everybody out there. I mean, I can't
Thank
get.
you.
Can you finish the show? Because I'm about to
Stephen
lose it.
Cheah, you also look beautiful. You're also
Thank you.
glowing. You're just a lovely looking man. Happy holidays to Coach Prime. Happy holidays to you, Kayce. Happy
you.
holidays
Rone,
to Stephen Cheah.
Stephen Shea, love you guys. You be blessed.
Appreciate
You guys have a great week, and we'll be back next week.
Amen.
Oh, thank you, Deion.
No problem, baby. I meant every word.